Well, it's now time for Kakaki Sports, and I am Simbi Shima. Like we like to say here, thank God it's Friday. It's the Friday edition, and in the spirit of the weekend, let's now bring you a recap of some of the fixtures and results, and perhaps the highlights from this round of 16 of the ongoing African Cup of Nations as we prepare to go into the quarterfinals that kicks off today. Well, looking at the result now, let's take a look at that game between Senegal and Sudan. Of course, it ended 3-1 in favor of Senegal. Yes, Sudan now, we know, out of the competition, obviously. Senegal progressed through, and then the next game was Mali and Tunisia, a very dramatic one there. Everyone thought, for some reason, Tunisia were going to pull through, but the Malians stood firm and got that 1-0 equalizer in the last minute to take them to extra time and also to penalty kick-out, where they finally got the edge against Tunisia. So Tunisia out of that tournament, Mali progressed, and then, of course, the host nation, it was a dramatic one as well. It was looking as though it's going to go into extra time. For some reason, Morocco, I beg your pardon, edge past Tanzania in that particular last minute to get that ticket to the round quarterfinal phase. And then South Africa and Cameroon, another dramatic game there it was. But he ended in favor of Cameroon, who stood firm to make sure South Africans do not progress to the round of 16. I know that most Nigerians were pleased with this one, but I mean, it's the game of football. A lot of banter went down, but it's just what it is, banter, and that we move on from there. And the next game was against Egypt and Benin Republic. Our neighbors, Benin Republic, couldn't stand the Pharaohs of Egypt as they were defeated 3-1 by the Pharaohs, led by Mo Salah, to clinch that emphatic victory there, 3-1, and ended to the next round of the competition. And of Delhi, Nigeria, thereby 4-0, one of the biggest wins for the round of 16 against Mozambique. Some said it was an easy sweep as expected, but others would say there's no small nation in football. But Nigeria did show dominance. It was a slick game, one of the best performances as described by so many fans for the Super Eagles so far, getting that 4-1 victory against Mozambique. And then Algeria and DR Congo, quite a dramatic one as well, I would say. He ended 1-0 in favor of Algeria. And then we had Cote d'Ivoire, defending champions, up against Burkina Faso, 3-0 emphatic victory there against the defending champions, showing the world and Africa that they are ready to defend their title. But would that be the case? We're about to find out. Before we get into the fixtures for the quarterfinals, let's quickly bring some of the highlights from the event. I'm talking about the round of 16 game that just rounded up. It's beginning with, of course, the story between, or should I say, the heated arguments between Osimhen and Ademola Lookman in that round of 16 fixture. That's where Nigeria won 4-0. We saw there's a lot of, we don't know what was happening there. But anyways, we now know that that has been settled. The bromance continues. The two most powerful, or should I say, most talented strikers and players in the Super Eagles squad are now back in harmony and in peaceful unity, rather, preparing for the quarterfinals. That we know for sure now, but it was quite an intense one there. People got talking, Osimhen did something wrong, he should apologize to Nigerians, to the fans, to the players. We know that happened behind closed doors, and that is how it should be. So we hope to see them, another collabo, as they go into the quarterfinal phase against Algeria. But also another very striking highlight, you can't miss this, was the one between Algeria and DR Congo. Where we saw the statue man fall to his knees after Algerians grabbed that 1-0 victory in the last minute. I mean, it was quite dramatic because the goal scorer had to go in front of the DR Congo fans to, mimic the statue man, the most popular fan in the AFCON right now, or should I say the most popular fan so far in the AFCON. Of course, he'll be going home now that DR Congo is out of the tournament. And he went there, he did the same statue and fell to his knees, telling him that the statue has been crushed, or the statue has fallen. So it was quite dramatic and very hilarious right there. I must say, all this chaos, drama, banter is one of the things that makes the AFCON really very unique. And I'll commend, the CAF for putting all this together, making sure that it's not just about the football, it's about everything, culture, tradition, language, just promoting everything African in all. But well, that being said and done, the round of 16 is done and dusted. We now know the contenders for the quarterfinals and those that will be going into the next round of the competition. Now, quickly, before we get into that, let's now bring you some of the reports, or should I say the messages from Nigerians who are in Morocco that are wishing the Super Eagles, have good messages, are wishing the Super Eagles good luck ahead of their game against Algeria. Before we take a look at the fixtures and what to expect in that encounter?
So far, so good. You know, the boys has been playing good. Looking at the 4 last matches, you know that the current coach, Chile, has actually made some good job on the boys. And definitely looking at our next match against Algeria, looking at the performance of Algeria against Congo, you know that they are not a leftover. They are not pushovers. They also play good football. But I'm sure and I'm certain that our boys will contend them. So we're looking at nothing short of victory come Saturday by the grace of God.
They are doing well, but I want to assure Nigerians that the way Super Eagle is playing and the way they are ready to take the trophy from here to Nigeria, I want to reassure Nigerians that, inshallah, what has happened in Abricos, it will surely repeat itself, not even repeat itself. We are not going to play just the final. Inshallah, we are going home with the trophies. But the only thing that Super Eagles needs from us and other Nigerians that have not been here with us is to pray for them so that Almighty Allah will see them through come on Saturday.
If you look at this team, I believe this is the very first time, you know, they've had the opportunity to stay for at least 10 days or more together. And from March day 1 to this moment, you've been seeing a lot of, you know, kind of improvement. You look at the second match was better than the first. So when you see this kind of progression in terms of personal technical players, and then in terms of even maintaining structure, you know, from the beginning of the game to the end, I think we stand a sure chance, a better chance by the grace of God, you know, in trashing Algeria.
Football being what it is, you take your chances when you create them. And for us, we've been creating the chances and we've been taking them. So I believe that we just have to be more tactical, more composed, and more focused, and just put our feet down on the pedals and carry the day.
It's most likely we'll see a replica of what happened between Nigeria and Tunisia, because Algerians entirely the North Africans play the same pattern of football, just like European football, and you know our boys are used to that kind of pattern. So I'm looking forward. This is a real test for the attacking proneness that we actually have. When you look at the combination, you put Osimhen, Ako, Lukman, the Chukwuezes, the Onyekas, and this is, I think, is a real test for them to actually prove that they are world-class attackers, so that they can break the defense of the Algerians. Eventually, I'm looking at just we're not going to probably score more goals, but definitely we're going to win, maybe 2-3 goals. That is what I'm expecting.
Having a watertight defense, as you said, is related to who they played against. They've not made the Super Eagles. That's the issue.
Okay. Finally, are we likely to see a high-scoring match?
All I need is a win. I don't know if it will be high-scoring or low-scoring, but Nigeria will comfortably, by the grace of Allah, you know, beat Algeria.
I feel very, very excited, and that is why I have to stand firmly and pray for them so that none of them should sustain injury during play, so that they can give us their own best to see we have reached our target. That is the final of the AFCON.
Are you saying the Super Eagles beating Algeria by a wide margin, or is going to be a very close game?
Yes, going by the history of this tournament, if you observe previous AFCON, we don't used to score many goals, but we thank God that this present AFCON that is ongoing, they are scoring much goals, so we're expecting not less than 3 or 4 goals on Saturday from our amiable and respected Super Eagles come on Saturday against Algeria.
I'm expecting a scoring match, high or low, I'll take it. But I think Nigeria has shown that they can score more than once. So I would think, in fact, medium. Not really high. But a win for Nigeria, actually. I'm still reiterating that this time Nigeria will get one over Algeria. And we'll be celebrating come Saturday, because then we'll be in the semi-finals after the game.
Oh, well, that's our fans of Nigerian Super Eagles sharing their optimism right there in Morocco, as put together by our sports correspondent, Omofo Marabare, who is covering the 35th edition of the African Cup of Nations right there in Morocco. Let's just say that Nigeria has now moved to Marrakesh for their quarterfinal fixture. And talking about the quarterfinal fixtures, these are the finalists, the quarterfinalists, I beg your pardon, before you say I've promoted somebody to be in the final. These are the quarterfinalists for the African Cup of Nations 2025. We have the kickoff, early kickoff there. That's today, talking about Mali and Senegal. And then we have Egypt and the host, defending champion, I beg your pardon, Ivory Coast. And then on Saturday, the big game for Nigerians, it will be Algeria against Nigeria. Yes, Algeria against Nigeria, you heard me. And then to wrap things up, it will be Morocco, the host nation, against Cameroon. And let's just tell you that Ivorians will be hoping to defend their title against the 7-time champions Egypt, while Nigeria, 3-time champion, will be hoping to make it another finalist finish, qualification against Algeria, another strong contender when it comes to African football. And then we'll have Cameroon up there against Morocco. Well, it's quite an intense one. And what are your predictions? You can let us know on official AIT Live on our social media platform. Just send in your predictions. Let us know what you think will be the possible outcome of all these fixtures as lined up, talking about one of the biggest fixtures in the history of AFCON. The quarterfinalists, Mali, Senegal, Egypt, Ivory Coast, Algeria, Nigeria, and Morocco against Cameroon. Well, before we go, let's remind you that the game between Nigeria and Algeria is exactly 5 p.m. Nigerian time on Saturday. That is tomorrow. So you might take our time to go see what the Super Eagles will put up against Algeria. Will it be a straight win for Nigeria or an extra time and a penalty kick out? All that is up for the finding out just about less than 24 hours from now. That's our package on KAKAKI Sports. Thanks for being a part of it. I am Simbi Shima. KAKAKI continues, so stay tuned.